This is Smithy.tv.
3, 2, 1. Hey, I'm Kenny Robbins, and this is Clifton Joseph. We are breaking down the news.
Break it.
Breaking down news now. Toronto, we've had a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on lately. If you're an NBA junkie, then we just finished talking about
All-Star,
the All-Star
baby.
game. But if you are a court junkie or just somebody who just likes to observe our legal system or a justice system, whatever you want to call it.
Celebrity hound.
Celebrity hound, celebrity dog pound, man that's in the doghouse, Gomeshi. His trial is on, and so far it's not looking good for the Crown.
Well, again, Kenny, this is a case that is going up. He's 20-something women came forward. 3 of them decided that they deal with the police. 2 of them we can know. One of them is on a court ban, and one of them we know of, who was actually the face of it, is Lucy de Couture,
Right.
the actress from
Trailer Park
Trailer
Boys.
Park, yeah. So it's not a jury case. It's the judge. It's one judge. So
yeah, because they went with a judge saying we only got to convince one person
less
here.
wiggle room for the defense, I think.
And a hung jury, too.
Yes. So I think that augurs well for the prosecution. Now, of course, there have been a bunch of faux pas. The witnesses so far didn't tell the Crown a lot
They've
of
been
stuff.
caught
They've been
being
caught.
less than candid.
You know what I mean? Sending messages,
Credibility
emails, texts,
has been, if not
sexy
lost,
photos.
shaken loose.
You know what I mean? Fellatio on a beer bottle, bikini photographs, and telling him that they love him, they like him, they want him.
So that is what his defense attorney has, each time the Crown did not know these emails, did not know these sexy post-assault pictures, having been sent, love letters written by hand. We have many things. Now, of course, when I was silly enough to mention this, and just for conversation's sake on Facebook, so right away I was told about the psychology of battered women, and that gets thrown out the door because dear Lucy was not in love, was not financially dependent upon him. So why would she respond later on?
And that.
And then somebody said, there's nothing funny. I just said, if I got punched in the face, I'm not trying to send a sexy picture to anybody. And then I received a spanking, a verbal spanking.
Oh, yes, as you probably might have deserved. I don't know.
No, because
Okay.
if I punch you in the face, are you trying to make me cookies? No, you waiting to get even with me.
Yeah.
I've been punched in the face more than once.
Different strokes for different folks. But you are familiar, Kenny, with the Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes, but they had not been together long enough for it to be Stockholm.
But look, Kenny, I know men and women.
Gian is a terrible first date offender.
Yeah, apparently he is. I mean, apparently he's a serial.
His idea of
Yeah,
foreplay is pow!
No, I should laugh, but
You should laugh.
no.
Because he is an animal.
There are 2 things here.
Allegedly to be an animal.
A lot of these women have the same kind of story. It's like the Bill Cosby thing. The same
Right.
kind of story keeps coming up.
But the problem
This
is
and
once
this,
that
right?
hits the media, then everybody can repeat that story.
Yeah, but anyway, okay, let's say only half of the 20-something women who've said so, it is so. Then it points to a pattern, right? So in these 3 cases, these 3 women who've come forward have said, yes, he does that. So, okay, there's that. The allegations of choking, that interest in charge overcome by choking?
Choke a bitch out. I think it's been referred to as
It's
on
a choke, right?
Right?
Yeah, assault, battery, whatever. So,
Now, to me, none of that is S&M.
But-
I was married to a woman before I met her. She's a professional dominatrix.
got safe words, and you both agree, and you do your thing together. Some guys get paid to get whipped and so on. So that's all part of the game. But if what these women allege is true, there are 2 things: the actual allegations and behavior, and then their response afterwards.
The
2
follow-up.
separate things. So one doesn't knock out the other. The fact that these women, if you want to say lied or did not recall at the time, like Richard Nixon, it's up to you. But I think,
But it does shake their credibility and becomes he
Yes, but-
said, she said.
what about his credibility, and what about the actual allegations, though? She's not speaking so much to those, right?
No,
like
that's
he
not
didn't
her
do it.
job.
He
She's
didn't
the
do that,
defense.
but you did this. And
She is a defense, so she doesn't have to bring that up.
and say something about Gomeshi. That dude keep notes, man. That letter was 13 years old.
Yes,
Kenny.
but you know what? I have love letters from women 25 years ago. You know what that is? Ego. That is all about Yeah, remember when this bitch was under my thumb? Hey, I had women. Man, I still got women love me from 1981. You know, because that's what or back in the days when people may have only had 3 lovers in their lifetime. They kept those letters in a box, and like when I die and my children have to empty out all the crap. Hopefully, my oldest daughter goes, anything written, just throw it away. Don't read it. Because they read this, and then I want you to do this to me. And then they're going to find the dirty pictures and all that other stuff. So people collect this stuff because
true.
It is a souvenir of our youth and our better days.
It was reported in one media outlet that one woman who had come forward earlier said that he had threatened her, saying that, you know what, I've got some texts from you. So apparently all the women after these alleged assaults, he still maintained some contact with them also.
But they also said
and got it to be a civil situation and then broke it off from there. So if it's a more diabolical process in his mind, then if that turns out to be true, where it's actually premeditated and this is the modus operandi.
You think he's going to walk? From what you've been reading in the media,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because I think what it is that you can downgrade someone's credibility as much as you can. This is an experienced judge who's been through a lot of these kind of cases.
A very good attorney.
Yes, and that Gomeshi is getting his money's worth.
Yep.
So what
Maybe
we see
all of his money's worth
is that she hasn't spoken substantially to the actual allegations yet. So she's now excoriating the
That's all you need to have an acquittal is reasonable doubt. That's why he's better off going with a judge and a jury. But here's the one point I'm stopping at. Doesn't matter what any of these women have said or done after he has already assaulted them.
Big.
It's all great cannon fodder, and it may take away from their credibility. But if this judge is sharp, if this judge is smart, says, damn, you must have busted that woman in the head so good and hard, she want to send you a picture. Because definitely knocked the sense out of the poor girl. I know right now somebody may be going, I can't believe he just said that. He's making fun of it. But you know what? The bottom line is, did he assault them?
There. That is what is there.
But then sitting here drinking Tim Hortons coffee with people at the corner, you could think that he has shook all of their credibility. Now there's still one more person to step forward.
I hope she remembers everything.
Well, if not, the Crown's saying anything else we should know about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the Crown will be grilling her all weekend, probably, right?
Oh, that Crown's up there. You going?
The cloud is up the cloud.
The Crown's saying, "Good thing this is a government job, and I cannot be fired. But if I was in the private sector,
overtime,
the boss would be calling me into that big panel wood office saying we have to let you go."
But it also gives a really a deep insight into, I guess, Canadian celebrity culture. Gomeshi was a celebrity.
Yeah.
And
darling of the left.
Look
at the support he originally had when this shit first hit the fan.
Oh, Elizabeth May, Judy Rebecca, some the top feminists supported him initially when he came out. So yeah, that's just neat.
It took about 5 or 6 women before most of those celebrity feminists jumped the boat and said, So even then for the first 3, they were willing to give him benefit of a doubt.
And this case is a historic case because, Kenny, it brings forward more than any other one I can remember the whole issue of sexual assault and the law. I expect some,
I don't know if this is sexual assault because it hasn't been charges of rape, it's been charges of just plain assault.
Yeah, but in terms of,
violence.
There's been a lot of debate about the treatment of the victims, the treatment by police. A lot of victims don't come forward because they don't think the law will treat them properly, that they will shame them.
I've been reading
so
some
a
stuff
lot
in
of
the
that.
Now
I think that there've been a lot of changes.
And there's a cat that's been saying that, well, that means that they cannot be questioned, that we just have to take for granted that anybody accused is guilty. And apparently this lawyer has not gone out of bounds with anything that because the Crown has not objected to any of her questions, nor has the judge said out of line.
The Crown is probably saying, what the fuck, y'all?
Well, that's all the Crown can say.
What the fuck, man?
Crown is like, what is that? Crown up there with their fist ball like, Yeah. So, hey, if this is coming across as misogynist, well, then that's what it is, I guess. But
no,
I think it's using common sense. And like I said, the charge, and I'm a father of 2 daughters. Okay, so my whole attitude is, if it had been my daughter, okay, wouldn't have been a trial. I'd be the one on trial. I wouldn't have killed the man. you know. But there would have been some lumber
Some
involved. Would have been some lumber. And he may not have lost his show, but he would have had a guest host for 6 months. And I would pray that I had a start me up fund to get me this woman to defend me.
Well, look,
You
Kenny,
know?
it's like, okay, let's use a guy. Ike Turner.
My man.
Do you think Ike beats his women?
Ike said, I never beat her no more than regular policeman or lawyer or anybody else beat their woman.
Ike beat all of his women,
Also-
and they stayed with him for a long time.
Also, Ike said, if I had busted, hit her like she said, she would be in the hospital with a busted jawbone. You ain't never heard of Tina being in the hospital with a busted jawbone. And then he put the pencil through the hole in his nose from the cocaine. So Ike is but then, but when Tina met Ike, his nickname was Pistol Whooping Ike. That's what everybody knew him as.
So yeah, so women.
His
stay-
father got lynched for dating a white woman. Ike
Oops.
Turner's daddy.
So he was hot to trot from a long time in
Well,
the genes.
Ike was a victim of his environment.
But the
he
point,
never
though,
had
is-
any counseling to get over the grief of his father being murdered because of his desire to be with a woman of the opposite race. All these had long-standing effects on young Ike's psychic and helped to make him the villain that he was.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Robinson's going to pay me because I just opened up his Ike ceremony. I mean, go on, brother. Speak. No, but in truth, Kenny, we'll see. I think this is a historical case. I think we'll see some changes in the way the law deals with women who come forward. And
Do you
also,
think there'll be changes?
I think...
Or do you think it'll just be women stop coming forward? I mean, that's one of the great
No,
fears.
I think more women will come forward because these women are taking a hit right now because memory is cloudy. I don't remember everything I do, man. I lie all the time. People say, "You remember this, Clifton?" Yeah, man. So and so and so. What shit I do? Don't
say
you?
you lie all the time.
Well, okay. I
I'm lucky
kind
at my age,
of
I'm getting just to
misremember.
forget shit. It's
Yeah.
like when friends say, "Remember that time when you did?" I said, and I was like, "I did that."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
then man, I'm sitting there going, "You know you did."
Was it pre-internet?
You better hope they forget the other shit you did that
I'm
night.
telling you, it's a good thing we grew up pre-internet, Kenny.
Good thing
for a
we
lot
grew
of our
up when
time.
a lot of the things we did wasn't really against the law. It was just frowned upon.
Dig.
You know.
But I do
so-
believe there'll be changes. I think so because this has been in the public's eye for over a year plus right now.
Yeah.
And it's going to go on. There's a second case coming up in June after this one with 3. This maybe isn't the judge collapsing that one into this one too?
I'm not
Anyway.
sure. I thought this was all there was.
I thought there was another one coming up in June, but hey, I stand. That's it. Corrected.
Well, no, not corrected, just questioned. 'Cause I'm not
Question.
sure.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
dilly-dally.
Under cross-examination.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think it's raised a lot of issues. A lot of teariness have come out. I remember in the beginning there were a lot of testimonials on social media, emails, and newspapers and the media. So it has really struck a chord. And I think, when that kind of thing happens, you tend to see some incremental changes.
Well, I think the biggest change is a return to old school, which is if someone strikes your sister, your mother, or your daughter, the menfolk got to be accounted. Back in the day, dude thought twice about going upside some woman's head because he knew her daddy had put him in the grave, or she had some uncles or some cousins that would come roll up in a car and straighten that shit out. My favorite scene in The Godfather, when Sonny Corleone beat the shit out of his brother-in-law for slapping around his sister, and that has disappeared. So am I advocating vigilante violence and justice for the assault and harm done to our women? Yes, I am advocating. Does violence does not solve it? No, but you know what? Sometimes something like in Godfather, then you will have justice. So
Well, look,
sometimes
I
the only
said-
justice is going to be street
I'm
justice.
from Antigua and Barbuda, and some of the women there, when their men beat them up, they do what we call a sweet oil treatment,
You told
vegetable
me about
oil.
that.
They'd hot up some oil in the frying pan when he's asleep and pour that shit down his ears.
You told me about that.
Or they knock him for water, as we say, for extra with that thing in the face, the head, across the face, whatever. So,
Willie Nelson had a wife when he came home drunk. She sewed him up in the sheets and beat him with a broom handle. That's old Willie, though.
I should laugh at that because I
No,
try not to
you
laugh
shouldn't
at
have
some of
laughed.
the shit.
If Willie Nelson didn't go to no police, He just said, "Well, I guess I'll be moving."
Yeah, violence beget violence, and sometimes violence is not the end. You get along, you know what I mean?
I wonder what the great Al Green did to get them hot grits on his
Ooh,
chest.
gosh, that was
day.
something too, wasn't it, back in the day? Yeah, but he didn't complain too much, did he?
Well, I had a friend that believed Al got out of the bathtub and shot the woman. She didn't commit suicide after that. And I said, "You believe that?" He said, "Wouldn't you? If someone just put some hot grits on your chest." I said, "Not me. I'd still be crying." But but I guess this cat was more of a man than me. Anyway, we got to wrap the segment up. So. Brilliant work on his defense. That's what they pay the top dollars for.
Oh, yeah.
He'll never host
Discredit.
another show again unless he gets involved with the Return to Kings movement, which is coming up
Well,
in our next segment, folks.
Okay, yeah.
And
Whoops.
Despite what these women said that apparently did afterwards, the question remains: did he assault them? Did he poke him? Did he choke him? Did he punch him?
Is those the facts?
And
is
those
the
are,
facts?
those have not been dealt with. So hopefully the judge is a wise old Spencer Tracy kind of judge that's just sitting there and hears everything and nods and keeps nodding and then picks up his gavel and says, "Guilty!" Pow!
Interpret the law.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that is why they are judges. You and me are just breaking down the news.
You know what I'm saying? Looking for some sponsors. Call us at 775-554-4321.
Aaron, if you're out of town, that is 1-800.
256-5554.
Anyway, Clifton Joseph, Kenny Robinson, Smitty TV, breaking down the news.